Yo, what's going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. And the question of us being in a bear market is what I want to start off with. At the moment, we had this bull flag and we broke out of this bull flag, guys. This is below what I would consider to be a price that triggers my stop loss around $75, $74, $70,000. I've had that cycle stop loss all along, but are we in a bear market and how low can we go? We take the bear flag and we extend it down. Of course, you could see here, there is a level of interest around $54,000, $55,000. I'm not saying it's going there, but boy, oh boy, if we do come back to the next level of demand, which is $78,000 to about $74,000, that puts people into well under the level that they need to be on their alts. And as a result, apart from a relief rally, things are looking incredibly bearish right now. And it's not me saying it. You can see the bull flag here, and we are breaking below this bull flag. Of course, I am bullish long term, hence the reason why I am producing content, and I'm looking forward to scooping some more cryptocurrencies at the lows, because once you get a generational bag, the chances are yours, your family's life changes forever. So in this video, I'm going to give you part one of my bear market hit list and give you the justifications as to why I believe this is a great strategy to look at your top accumulation projects. Now, again, I haven't confirmed the bear market, but the bear market has confirmed itself. And at the moment, we are still within a fighting chance of finishing the year strong, but the hopes are fading and we don't have anything but a Santa rally to rely on. Today is going to be highly volatile. CPI, PMI, you've got Thursday, Bank of Japan. You've got a lot of things going on, and big money right now is not deploying in the market. So if you're looking for an additional confirmation, what you're seeing here is a bear flag, which we are definitely breaking out of. Therefore, the next stop would be, unless we take liquidity right now, $87,000, which is great, but we need to be above $100,000 to be able to sustain any run. So for now, treat this as your bear market accumulation, hence the type of content I'm doing to help you here. So number one would be SUI. SUI is at $1.50. Now, my average here is 74 cents. Of course, I haven't sold my SUI bag, and I do have ecosystem bags underwater. If it pumps, I'd get rid of some of the ecosystem bags to be able to make sure I could buy them a lot cheaper in a bear market. We're talking about the main layer one. And this is going to be, for me, a really important cryptocurrency within the next two cycles. I could see this being 100 billion plus in terms of fully diluted valuation, maybe 150 billion in the not too distant future. Now, SUI is a fast blockchain on the Move programming language. SUI has very good developers, very good leadership team in Mr. Labs. And of course, the Move programming language is quite unique, has one of the fastest, I think it's 3.9 milliseconds of finality. So this is one that will revolutionize the way we deal in crypto. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's too early. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry should be able to use the SUI blockchain as easy as, when it comes to recovering things like wallets, when they deploy ultimately games. But I'm looking at this in the long term as more of a Solana competitor. At the moment, it's way off that because, of course, the shit coins don't do really well here. They come out and they die pretty quickly. But it is absolutely one that has fantastic ecosystem. People were asking me about DBook. Again, DBook is their central liquidity hub on the base blockchain. And this is what obviously this ZK login is what we're looking at long term to get mass adoption. So if this happens in the end, if this becomes really wide, if crypto adoption is going to become as widely available to the everyday person, then SUI stands the way of being a general purpose blockchain for the average person. No seed phrases, no need to worry. So put this into a category into your bear market hit list. I know a lot of people were jealous that our average was so low, but if you do get the opportunity and the chance to accumulate some of this stuff, I think you should consider it the Apple of crypto. So that would be one that I would look to buy and make sure I have a decent bag of. The next one is going to surprise a lot of you. And for the OGs, it's not going to be a surprise. Kaspa around 1 cent would be setting me up for another run of greatness. $1 billion in terms of market cap right now, 4 cents. And the reason why people are going off Kaspa is because they don't really fundamentally understand what the project does. It has criticisms in terms of the team and things like that. But when you look at 10 blocks per second, the fastest achievable speeds on a proof of work layer 1. And in my opinion, you know, when you consider this being the only one of its kind in its niche, I think this long term will follow Bitcoin and will be marketed in a manner that, of course, it needs utility and it does need a listing. But I think the Kaspa is a project unlike any other in terms of what I see within the crypto family. And I think overall, the end game here is a pure form of money solving the trilemma. Okay, so while this project is at the moment underwater and continues to fall, I mean, since 2023 to 2024, that was Kaspa's bull run. Ever since then, it's had a long downtrend, now down to $1 billion. But Kaspa is going to be having that type of probably Zcash run, comes out of nowhere, and people just realize, oh my God, proof of work is the way to go here. My criticism will remain forever for a big project competing to be one of the best layer ones. Yes, it's fair launch, but you cannot do without the big boys in here. You need a Coinbase, pay up or shut up is basically what's going on right now. But in the long term, Kaspa for me, proof of work, Ghost Stack protocol. If you're doing, you know, it's mined obviously by likes of Marathon Digital and all of those types of big miners as well, which actually was quite a bearish event when they initially first came on to the network. To be fair, but for me, I think this one long term, again, more the risk in terms of the compared to Sui or Solana or those is slightly higher. However, I think there is more upside here than you could imagine. And in about 3 years' time, or however long it takes for the value to kind of change over time in the market, because they always do. You know, you'd want to be early to Ethereum, you'd want to be early to Solana, Bitcoin, and you know these second, third, fourth generation layer ones are no different. So I would definitely book some Kaspa in my consideration. The next one is Sei. Now, Sei is very, very risky right now because of where the price is. And this is going to be a price-driven, sentiment-based cryptocurrency. Now, if you look at this, 400 milliseconds, giga upgrade is going to be massive. And I think we could get Sei. I mean, the price is already incredibly low right now. But if it comes below 10 cents, I think there would be queues lining up for this. So far, in terms of the bull run, this one has not achieved, apart from the early days when it had a $12 million TVL and it went well over $1 in price, and it achieved that incredibly fast because of the hype. But what I would say is Sei is going to be a second cycle runner. Pretty much inflation's gone better, tons of adoption. I mean, we saw the news that they had with Xiaomi, and right now there's no volume, there's no eyes, there's no attention, there's nothing. Now, I would say the Giga upgrade, if you haven't seen, it's quite interesting. So white paper for Sei Giga is the first multi-proposer EVM layer 1 blockchain. And this is going to be quite interesting. So they are considering themselves as a 5th generation. And this bit of this white paper, this research that they released, claiming to do a 200,000 transaction per second, sub 400 finality. I think I could see a Sui type of move here where people who bag X amount of Sei then all of a sudden become very, very wealthy in a short space of time. Because if this runs to $1, to $1.50, I think a lot of people will make good money. So don't look at in terms of the news and volume, what's going on right now. Look under the hood, because they are doing what they need to do. And again, I'm going to be doing a part 2, part 3. There'll be meme coin side. But I do like what Say is doing. And I think Say is going to be in my bear market hit list. Next caller is Bittensor Tau. Now, for those of you who know me, this will not come as a surprise. Why? Because I think this is my kind of Ethereum, Bitcoin, is probably more likely to be touted the same as a Bitcoin, but I could see price doing what Ethereum has done in a short space of time in its early days. Why? Because what we have is, apart from the halving of the Tau rewards, a la Bittensor Tau, a la Bitcoin, what we also have here, after the 4-year halving events here, the price will accrue over time. Why? Because AI is not going anywhere. And for those of you who know about AI, you know that it requires computational power. It's also another sector that I'm really bullish in, is deep in. But the ecosystem here is growing, and it's in a class of its own. It's actually kind of slightly immune to, it's still very volatile, but generally it follows its own rules and kind of, its own regulations at the moment in the Tau subnet. But they are, big up to my brother here. They are broken down into things like AI agents, automations, and, operating software layer, core compute training subnets, things like subnet 64. You've got all of these things, foundational models, LLMs. You've got finance, trading, and prediction subnets. You've got social creative arts. So basically, these are AIs competing against each other, right, for the rewards. And that's what makes Bittensor, if you think about, as unique as you can probably get. And in about, say, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years from now, I think this will be a $5, $10, maybe even $50,000 per coin, because it is that valuable. If you look at, for example, the tokenomics, Zcash right now is $400. It went up to $700, $800. This went up to like nearly $800, $900 at some point. But over time, I think AI is going to be way more valuable and powerful. So for that reason, it is in my bear market hit list. And I would love for this, even though I hold a big bag, to come below $2 billion. So I think that would be a crazy, crazy buying opportunity. Even the price of 150 or sub 100 will put your kids and feed them for life. So in conclusion, look, what I'm doing is I am looking at things in a manner that takes me away from the headlines, because the headlines are plenty, right? We've got the Genius Act coming up. The Clarity Act coming into effect. We've got also short-term market situation like the Bank of Japan and other things. But these things are not going anywhere. So do not rush. Do your own research. Buy based on your own conviction. And of course, instead of slagging someone off who's working in this space every day, you either take this information educationally. None of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you right now, when Tau is 10K or 5K or whatever, then we can have a conversation whether I was right or not. But judge not on the short-term basis of what is likely to be a very quick bear market, unless we can actually go do something like this, where we come down, we hit this first level, right? And then we go take off, and that will be next year. Or if we go to a bear market around these 50, below $70,000, then what we would do is we will come here, we'll chop around here for a bit. Of course, can take up to 3 months. I mean, if you look at the past, you would see here we were below this key level for a while. But this while was a period of, this was around so it's just about a year, right? From the breakdown to the breakup below the moving average. So take your time. We're not here in a hurry. We're not going anywhere. And of course, any relief rallies, sell as many shit coins as you can. so you can prepare yourself for greatness. Let me know what you think of the video and have a good one.